injury that initially left her wheelchair-bound. She graduated from Auburn University with a degree in aerospace engineering, and during the May ceremony, walked the stage using crutches. Serio's objective was to walk on her own down the aisle at her wedding set for June the 1st. Only 2 months from the accident, the young woman worked with a team of physical therapists. Her recovery went well, and she ultimately achieved her goal. Number 6. Ian Crystal. The co-founder of the spirits company responsible for the release of the popular Monkey Rum died following a failed backflip at Citi Field in Queens, New York City. The incident occurred in August of 2021 while Ian Crystal, the CEO of Evolution Spirits, was attending a concert by Dead & Company at the baseball stadium. During intermission at around 9 p.m., he launched himself into a backflip on a balcony but missed the landing. The stunt resulted in 46-year-old Crystal plummeting from a height of 30 to 50 feet. The man's brother was among the first to find him as he lay unresponsive on the ground after he'd impacted the concrete below head first. Crystal was rushed to the New York Presbyterian Queens Hospital, where he was eventually pronounced dead. It's unclear why the backflip had gone wrong, but he was alleged to have been drinking, smoking marijuana, and taking LSD leading up to the ill-fated attempt. Number 5. Shah Faisal Shinwari. In the summer of 2015, London authorities publicly chastised a YouTube prankster by allegedly saying his stupidity takes some beating after he nearly lost his life in a daredevil jump off Tower Bridge. Shah Faisal Shinwari, reported as being in his late teens, had been dared to jump from the capital city's landmark by one of his subscribers. Looking back on the incident, Shinwari, known on the platform as Carnage, claimed that there were several ways in which he could have perished. He leapt from the bridge and fell roughly 40 feet, a height greater than that of a telephone pole, before impacting the surface of the Thames below. Shinwari hadn't jumped feet first, but for the added acrobatics, threw himself over a railing sideways, consequently striking the water at an awkward angle. He remembered not being able to move and feeling like he was going to die in the immediate aftermath. The teenager eventually started swimming, but was powerless against the fast-flowing currents of the Thames. He screamed for help and was eventually pulled from the water by members of the Royal National Lifeboat Institution, an organization that relies on charity donations to function. The RNLI's London-based operations reportedly require the equivalent of nearly $140,000 each year. Shinwari was intensely criticized for the stunt and pledged to donate money to the RNLI in the aftermath, while also admitting that the jump was the stupidest thing he'd ever done. Number 4. Larry Kona. In July of 2020, a Las Vegas man was arrested for felony willful disregard of a person's safety after provoking a homeless man to perform a fatal backflip with the promise of $6. The cruel live-stream stunt had unfolded on June the 20th after Keontae Jones, aged 28, was approached by 55-year-old Larry Kona. The latter asked Jones for money and was offered $6 if he did a backflip. A video captured by Jones and posted to Facebook would show him holding the promised sum in front of the camera and then laughing at the homeless man's attempts. Kona was filmed performing 2 cartwheels in a parking lot before launching himself backwards into a flip. He failed to complete the rotation and landed on his head, to which Jones reacted by erupting in laughter before concerned onlookers rushed to help Kona. According to local police, Jones continued filming for almost 10 minutes and even urged others not to call for help. All the while, Kona struggled but was unable to get back to his feet. The homeless man was taken to a local hospital with a severe spinal injury to which he succumbed on June 30th. The authorities learned about the incident upon being contacted by one of his relatives and arrested Jones. Jones. Police reported that the man, who'd previously been convicted of assault with a deadly weapon, had a history of posting similar encounters with homeless people to his social media. Number 3. Alexander Vincent. A parkour enthusiast in his late teens died in December of 2017 after attempting a jump at Black Man's Bay in Tasmania. Alexander Vincent's family raised the alarm after he hadn't returned from a walk along the foreshore. The police determined that he'd fallen into the bay's turbulent waters while trying to clear a gap near a marine geyser. The 18-year-old, originally from Sydney, had attempted a jump of over 16 feet from one cliff of the Black Man's Bay blowhole to the other. He was reported missing after last having been seen at around 2 p.m. A helicopter began scouring the coastline while the River Derwent was searched by a police boat. Vincent's jacket was eventually spotted and his lifeless body was recovered from the water near the blowhole. The tragic incident renewed calls for more efficient fencing and warning signs in the area. Today's topic was requested.
The fuck? Fucking clowns. Fucking clowns.
My Instagram follower. So reasonable. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below, or follow us on Instagram and reach out to us there. Number 2. Liza Jones and George McGrath.
Should Americans with no degree be allowed to get $38,070 from this government education program? This controversial government program is giving those who do not have a degree up to $38,070 in funding to pay for college that never has to be paid back.
On the same day in February of 2017, 2 visitors at the Flip-Out Trampoline Park in Chester, England, suffered severe spinal injuries while using one of the facility's main attractions. 26-year-old nurse Liza Jones from Wrexham, Wales, decided to experience the tower jump, which involved leaping from a 13-foot-high platform into a foam pit underneath. After landing, Jones sensed a searing pain in her back, which the woman would
What? Get the fuck out of here.
Later described as the worst she'd ever felt in her life. The emergency service.
That was some bullshit. That was some bullshit right there. Fucking clown. Let's see what we got here, man. I'll quit.
Were called and paramedics extracted her from the foam pit with minimal movement so as not to aggravate her injury. She was taken to a hospital where X-ray and CT scanning revealed she had an unstable fracture in her spine. One of her vertebrae had burst, resulting in bone fragments sticking out, which could have resulted in paralysis. Jones underwent surgery at Liverpool's Walton Centre to have metal plates and screws inserted in her back. She had limited mobility during her ensuing recovery. He stated an intention of taking legal action against the park, claiming that the injury had occurred in spite of her respecting the health and safety instructions. On the same day, February the 1st, 21-year-old student George McGraw fractured his spine on the tower jump. He too had reportedly followed the safety advice of landing in the seating position, but nevertheless shattered his vertebrae. McGraw required surgery involving the placement of a metal disc into his spine and months of recovery. Lookout voluntarily closed the tower jump and went to the incidents, but the rest of the park remained active while an investigation was launched. Number 1. Peter Miak. In October of 2014, a soccer player from India sustained a horrific injury to his spine following an ill-fated goal celebration. 23-year-old midfielder Peter Miak scored an equaliser for Bethlehem Vainflying FC around the 60th minute in the televised match. He received a pass from a free kick and struck the ball into the back of the net guarded by the Chanmari West FC goalkeeper. Miak Zamzwaya, a promising player with hopes of reaching the National League, decided to mark the goal with acrobatics and launched himself into a backflip. Teammates were about to jump on the midfielder to join him in the celebration, but then realized he was seriously injured. The ex-Venezuela remained motionless after awkwardly landing on his neck during the flip. He was taken off the pitch via stretcher and then transported to a local hospital where doctors operated on him and tried to mend the extensive damage to his spine. Unfortunately, his condition deteriorated and he ultimately passed away. Thanks for watching. Would you rather jump over a car driving at you at 30 miles per hour or jump into a pool from the third floor of a hotel? Let us know in the comment section below.